In this video, I have compiled a list of the top 5 best mesh routers in the market that are worth buying. So let's get started. Number 5. If you want the best mesh Wi-Fi solution available, Google's Nest Wi-Fi is the best you can get. It offers superb performance, a dead simple setup process, and it delivers Wi-Fi coverage that can expand coverage to handle everything from a small home to large estate. But the Nest Wi-Fi has something no other mesh kit does, with a Google Home smart speaker built into every mesh extension. The compact units let you control the router with voice commands, along with every other connected device in your house, from smart lights to your smart TV. Adding additional Nest extensions adds new Google Home units in other rooms, seamlessly giving you a voice assistant in any room of the house. And if you still have an old Google Wi-Fi system gathering dust, you can add those to extend the mesh coverage, too. If you want the best and simplest mesh Wi-Fi solution for your home, this is it. Number 4. The Eero Pro 6 combines tri-band Wi-Fi 6 networking with a mesh setup that's quicker and easier than pretty much any mesh system we've reviewed, making it the best way to get great performance throughout your home without much hassle. With a single unit covering 2,000 square feet with reasonably fast Wi-Fi, the 3-pack Eero Pro 6 will blanket up to 6,000 square feet with ease, and we set up the 3-piece system in about 11 minutes. It may not have the highest throughput, but the Eero Pro 6 mesh kit does well at mid-range distances where others peter out, is quick to set up and automatically adjusts just about everything. If you want granular customization, then tools like band steering, local DNS caching and home automation tools, it's got those, too. But the Eero Pro 6 does its best when it lets you set it and forget it, giving you speedy Wi-Fi 6 without the hassles. Number 3. Portable package folds in parental controls and antivirus protection while delivering decent coverage and performance, making it ideal for an average family home. I tested the AX6000 3-pack, and it was very easy to set them all up. The 3 routers are quite small and sport a cylinder design that blends in well. There are 2 Gigabit Ethernet ports on each. Coverage and speeds are okay, falling well short of the ASUS XT8 but beating the Eero 6. The app is straightforward, and it's easy to set up a guest network. TPLink's home care is free, and it enables the antivirus protection powered by Trend Micro and robust parental controls. It's a breeze to set up profiles with time limits and scheduled bedtimes. There are basic filters by age, and you can review activity on both the app and website. The quality of service feature lets you prioritize activities like gaming or streaming or set priority devices. Importantly, you can split 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands to show as 2 separate Wi-Fi networks. This is handy, as some smart home devices only operate on the former band. Similarly, there's a mixed mode for WPA2 and WPA3 security. Only a few devices work with the newer WPA3 standard, and some routers force you to choose one or the other, which can lead to issues. This mode ensures all your gadgets are on a compatible standard. The web interface is basic and doesn't add much, so I preferred using the easy-to-use app. However, it's a little slow to update, and settings are still limited. It didn't recognize many devices and listed obscure hardware manufacturer names, making it tough to figure out which devices to add to my kids' profiles. It wasn't the speediest performer, but this system is fast and dependable enough for the average home. Number 2. The combination of speedy performance, impressive range, and lots of extra features earns the ASUS and Wi-Fi AX6000 its top spot here. It's a bit of a mouthful. I tested the 2-pack, and the straightforward setup through the mobile app took minutes, though you have to keep the node close by during setup and then move it. Available in black or white, these units are fairly large. But they're unobtrusive and look quite classy, with side vents to help dissipate heat. Each router offers 3 Gigabit Ethernet ports, which is very generous, as well as a 2.5G LAN port and a USB 3.1 port. At short, medium, or long range, the XT8 was consistently the fastest system I tested, and speeds never dropped. The inclusion of Protection Pro, which adds anti-malware and parental controls powered by Trend Micro, is very welcome, especially since it doesn't require a subscription, unlike most competitors. I like the parental controls too. You can set up and reuse profiles, schedule bedtimes, filter by age group, and review activity. The quality of service option lets you prioritize activities like working from home, gaming, or streaming, and you can limit bandwidth for specific devices. The mobile app has a wealth of options, and the web interface is even more in-depth. It's easy to split bands or set up a guest network. I also found that the app recognized most devices correctly. Sometimes it's difficult to identify devices from the attributed hardware names in router apps. And there's support for AMesh, which means you can easily add other ASUS routers to expand your Wi-Fi system. The dedicated backhaul channel, the way the router speaks to its nodes and vice versa, is extremely fast, ensuring you get the full speed of your internet connection, even from that node you placed near the backyard. On the downside, my XT8 node initially refused to update its firmware, which took a couple of attempts to fix. I also had an issue with my Sonos speakers disappearing, but managed to resolve it with a factory reset. Overall, using the XT8 has been a smooth experience. It's easy enough for just about anyone to operate, but the depth of options will satisfy power users. Number 1. At a retail price of $699 for a 2-pack, the AX6000 version of the NETGEAR Orbi is too expensive to recommend outright, but if you just want one of the fastest mesh routers money can buy, look no further. With full support for Wi-Fi 6 and a second 5 GHz band that serves as a dedicated backhaul connection for the router and its satellites, the powerful system was downright impressive in our tests, with top speeds of nearly 900 megabits per second at close range in our lab. That's one of the fastest numbers we've ever seen from a mesh router in that test, and it only fell to 666 megabits per second at a distance of 75 feet, which is still faster than we saw from the Nest Wi-Fi up close, just 5 feet away. Things got even more impressive when we took the Orbi AX6000 home to test its performance in a real-world setting. With an incoming internet connection of 300 megabits per second serving as a speed limit, the system returned average speeds throughout the whole home of 289 megabits per second to Wi-Fi 5 devices and 367 megabits per second to Wi-Fi 6 devices, including speeds at the farthest point from the router that were 95% as fast as when connecting up close. That's an outstanding result, and it's held up as I've continued my controlled mesh router speed tests. In the 2 years that have passed since I first tested the Orbi AX6000 at my home, no other system I've tested has been able to take its top spot on the leaderboard, not even the newer Orbi AX11000 system that adds in support for Wi-Fi 6E, yes. Really. Again, the problem is the price. $699 is simply too expensive for most folks, especially given that you'll need a connection of at least 500 megabits per second in order to notice much of a difference between this system and others we like that cost less than half as much. Thanks for watching, guys. That's all for now. I hope you guys liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope to see you guys in the next video.